Mornings can sometimes be challenging, and making sure that you or your loved ones start the day with a nutritious meal is not always easy to do. So today we are going to experiment with some instant oatmeal. Welcome back to A Better Choice Homestead, where on my channel I focus on food, growing it, preparing it, and preserving it. Today's Friday, so we are doing an edition of Freeze Dry Friday, where I made a whole bunch of oatmeal in the Instant Pot. We're gonna get that freeze dried, and then I'm gonna package that up into little ball canning jars and just put them on the shelf. We're gonna mix in some various fruits and things, including powdered milk, to make it a really easy go-to meal that somebody can just grab even on the way out the door and enjoy. So hopefully this will come out well. Let's go over to the freeze dryer so I can get it set, and I'm gonna show you how I set it. And that's gonna be for you, Erin. You asked me if I would show that. Harvest Right does now have an app, or maybe they've had it for a while, but I just recently learned about the app. I have downloaded that on my phone, but it doesn't have oatmeal on there. So I'll just show you how to change the settings on the freeze dryer. But how you would do that is you would hit customize, and then you could change your settings in here. So we have an extra freeze time of 1 hour, the dry temp at 125, which is standard. And then I typically have my extra dry time set to 15 hours, and I'm gonna leave it just like that. So I'm just gonna use standard settings plus my extra dry time of 15 hours for this, and then just hit save. And then we just need to push start. And this says wait 15 minutes before loading trays so that this chamber can get cool. Let me give you a look at the trays. Now I did make all this oatmeal last night, and I did that in the Instant Pot, which made it pretty easy to do. I did, 4 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats to 9 cups of water in the Instant Pot. I did that twice. So this is a total of 8 cups, or 2 cups per medium Harvest Right freeze dryer tray. And it filled the trays nicely. They're not too full. They're not overflowing at all. So I don't think these will take an exorbitant amount of time to freeze dry. If I can get the lid off. There we go. So they are not too full. And this is gonna be quite a lot of oatmeal, considering that's like 16 servings worth of oatmeal here. I'm really excited to see how this turns out with some freeze-dried fruit. And I've also got some freeze-dried yogurt bites that I'm not really fond of. I don't like the texture of them. So I think I'm gonna add those in here as well. And now that we've adjusted the settings on the freeze dryer and it's gone through its 15-minute cool down, I'll meet you over there where we can get these in. And with our freeze dryer ready, it now says go ahead and load the trays, and then close the drain valve, and then hit continue. So that's what we'll do. Here's tray number 1, not too full. 2, 3, and 4. Now I've never done oatmeal before. I have no idea how long this is gonna take. I did not load the trays too tall, as I mentioned, but oatmeal is pretty dense. So I'm gonna guess around 36 hours, maybe up to 40, we'll see. But we can go ahead and close the drain valve. And then press continue. I'll bring you back when the timer runs down to 0, and we'll test for dryness. We're just over 42 hours on the freeze dryer. I did put an extra 5 hours on here last night because it was going to end in the middle of the night. And then when I woke up this morning, I didn't have time to deal with it, so I threw a couple more hours on top of that. So I think I added 7 hours total to this until lunchtime today, when I had the opportunity to finish this run. I'm gonna go ahead and open the drain valve. Let's see what we've got. There's maybe a 1/4 inch of ice all the way around, so definitely need to defrost this. These look like they shrunk up just a little bit. They pulled away from the edges, and now it is just a big solid block. Let's hope that I can break them up in the manner that I had intended, and we'll get them packaged up. I won't push defrost on here until I'm certain these are dry. I'll meet you in the kitchen. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to get some oatmeal put into some pint-sized mason jars. And I'm gonna try to do a half a cup each because that would be a serving size. I'm just not sure how well that's going to work out given the fact that they are a pretty solid mass right now, but let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, they break up just fine. I think it's going to be a little hard to measure exactly unless I were to completely pulverize these, which I don't want to do. So we're going to estimate. I've got a half cup measure here. And because there's going to be a lot of gaps in this because they're in blocks, I'm probably going to do a half cup more than what this is telling me. So here's kind of a half, but I'm going to do another quarter here, or a couple more pieces. And if it was all smushed down, that should be about half a cup. So I'm just going to do that 3 times. These are definitely dry. I'm excited for this. Instant oatmeal reimagined. I'm going to do 3 of these in the jars, and then I'll package more up in Mylar for long term. Add a couple more to that. So it looks like maybe I'm filling that up about halfway, but that's misleading because these are in clumps. There's a lot of empty space between them. I've got my kettle over here heating up because we are absolutely going to rehydrate and give this a try. You can certainly do more if you'd like, maybe a cup, but half a cup is a serving of oatmeal. And this didn't lose much in terms of volume at all because freeze drying doesn't destroy the cells of the food, so it maintains its structure. With my jars filled, I'm gonna layer in some powdered milk because this is truly going to be instant oatmeal. And I know I just made some powdered milk on one of my freeze dry Friday videos, but that's packaged up and put away, and this is what I have open in my refrigerator. This is from Azure Standard, and it is their organic A2 whole milk. So let's get half a cup of milk. And this should give us some nice creamy oatmeal. So half a cup of powdered milk. And now for the fun part. I'm gonna be adding some freeze-dried blueberries and raspberries and yogurt bites. So we'll do one with blueberry. Just a nice little layer on top. Blueberries are so good for you. Brain food. And we'll get 1 oxygen absorber in there. Oh, that's so cute. Let me do another one. And we'll do one with the yogurt bites. These are raspberry yogurt bites. I just don't care for the texture of them. It's kind of like that squeaky styrofoam fingernails on a chalkboard to me. So I don't like eating these, but they will rehydrate perfectly in here. One oxygen absorber. And one more for the jar. And I have some strawberries. One oxygen absorber. And voila, let me show you what these look like. We've got our strawberry our raspberry yogurt and our blueberry. Don't those look cute? And all we're gonna have to do is add some hot water into here and have instant oatmeal. Super fun. The rest of these I'm gonna put into a Mylar bag, and I'm gonna do 2 servings per bag. Otherwise, it would just be a whole lot of bags. I'm gonna start just by breaking up what's on the tray, and then we'll get them measured out. And after I do this one tray, we'll get some rehydrated as well, because we're gonna wanna let that sit for maybe 3 minutes. So by the time I finish the other 2 trays, it'll be ready to consume. This is another food that is gonna have kind of sharp corners on it, so you're gonna wanna be careful in the bags. Don't overstuff them. And so we're gonna go with 1 cup per Mylar bag. I'm gonna use my little helper here to hold the bags up for me. One cup of oatmeal, half a cup of powdered milk. Let's do half a cup of blueberries. And 2 very nice servings of instant oatmeal. Put an oxygen absorber in there. And we'll get that zipper closed for now, and then when all the bags are filled, I will run them through the impulse sealer. Measuring out another full cup. Half a cup of powdered milk. And half a cup of blueberries. One oxygen absorber. And zippered. I can get 2 more blueberries done. 1 cup of oatmeal, half a cup of powdered milk, and half a cup of blueberries. One oxygen absorber. And zippered closed. 1 cup of oatmeal. A little repetitive at this point. I'm going to use my little bench scraper. We'll just steal a little bit from another tray. Half a cup of milk. Half a cup of blueberries. And we're done with the blueberries. Before we package any more up, let's go ahead and get one of these rehydrated and see how that comes out. I'm gonna go with the strawberry. So all I have to do is take out my oxygen absorber. I'm gonna start with 1 cup of water. That looks perfect. We'll see. We're gonna let that sit just like this while we get the rest of these packaged up. And I'm gonna start just by breaking these down. And again, these do have those kind of sharp edges, so you're gonna wanna be careful in the bags. Don't overfill them. Glass is probably the most ideal way to store this, but this is a lot of oatmeal. That would take me a long time to go through, and glass is for short-term storage in my house, up to a year. It's only been a couple seconds, and this guy's looking really good. How cute is that? I think these are all just adorable. We've got the blueberry, we've got the raspberry. You could even take them to work with you, send them in your kids' school lunches, and all they would have to do is add water. And each one of these trays should be about 4 servings. They were 2 cups per tray. So I'll probably just eyeball this, dividing this in quarters. Just kind of divide this in half and then divide it in half again. That looks about right. One bag. Two. 3. And 4. You just need half a cup of milk per bag. Three. And 4. I think I'm going to do 2 of these in the raspberry and 2 of them in the strawberry. That looks really good. So those are done, just need oxygen absorbers. But let me get the strawberries in. These strawberries are from last summer, so they're almost a year old. These look lovely. They smell so good. I think we'll go in with the rest of those. All right, these two are my raspberry yogurt oatmeals. I gotta keep them identified so I can write on them what they are. So we'll get 2 oxygen absorbers out for those and 2 out for the strawberry. These would be great to take camping in the summer. They're so light, they're easy to transport, especially if they're in Mylar like this, and you could even add your hot liquid directly into the Mylar bag. So these are the strawberries. I'm just gonna call this strawberry oatmeal 3 of 2025. And raspberry. Let's get an impulse seal on all the bags. 1 blueberry, and I'm just gonna do a seal on here until the light goes off. And I'll do a double seal. I've been doing that more and more just in case. Here's a raspberry. Raspberry. So we got quite a bit of oatmeal out of this. I still have 2 trays that I need to package up, but I think I'm gonna just do those plain and in larger bags because I do also use oatmeal in my dog's food, and I think it would be nice to have some of that on standby just in case there was a power outage or something and I couldn't cook. How simple is this? And now we have 1, 2, 3, plus each of these bags is 2. So 16 instant breakfasts just waiting to be rehydrated. So we still have 2 trays, minus the little bit I stole from that one, that I'll package up into the gallon-sized Mylar bag, and that'll just be set aside for emergency dog food in case there's a power outage or something, because I do use oatmeal sometimes in my dog food. I am thrilled at the way these came out. They're so cute. They're gonna be great just sitting on the shelf. These are gonna be fine in dry storage, just ready to grab and take or make whenever you need an instant oatmeal. Let's give this strawberry oatmeal a try. Oh, it smells incredible. It really smells good. I think the ratio of water in here was a little bit much. It's kind of soupy, but I think some of the oatmeal is still in a little bit of a clump. I might add just a little less liquid to that. So instead of a full cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup. So there's definitely clumps in here. Like this is an oatmeal clump. So I'm now just smushing them to get them unclumped. And then I think the water ratio will actually be just fine. And I think I will make sure that before I rehydrate any of these moving forward, that I do really crunch those clumps down. And that's what I'll do with the last 2 trays as well. And I'll probably go back in and get those crushed down also. Probably run this through my blender, honestly, just to make sure, because I think this is gonna taste fine, but it is a clump of oatmeal. Let's try it. Maybe it'll be good. That is fully hydrated. That is really good. Let's get some strawberry in there. A little bit of strawberry. Yeah, this is good. You just definitely don't want those clumps. You don't want them clumpy. You definitely want to crunch them down. I'll run these through my Vitamix. Any blender would probably work just fine. That's really good. Now, if you like sweet oatmeal, feel free to add a little brown sugar or sugar to yours. I think that the sweetness of the fruit is just perfect enough. It's sweet enough. So I won't be adding any sugar to mine. Thank you so much for joining me for another edition of Freeze Dry Friday, Instant Oatmeal Reimagined. My name is Kelly, you're at A Better Choice Homestead, and I do hope you come back and visit again soon.